A very good morning and happy Sabbath to all of you. How are you today? Good to see all of you here again in a past day. I look at the clock, 10:15. I have 15 minutes sermon and that is good for me. 10:05, so I have 25 minutes. All right. Well, good to see you again on this Sabbath day. Is our God poor? And don't answer me yet. The title of my sermon today is our God poor? Now let us look at top 10 richest man in the world, 2018. Larry Ellison, 58.5 billion. In the ninth place, we have two persons, David and Charles, 60 billion. 7, we have Carlos Sim, 67.1 billion. And we have Amancio Ortega, 70 billion. And we have our Facebook friend here, Mr. Mark, 71 billion. In fourth place, we have Bernard, 72 billion, who is the third richest man in the world. We have this Warren, 84 billion. How about number 2? Bill Gates. You're right, we have Bill Gates, 90 billion, and number 1, top 1 is Jeff Bezos, 112 billion. Wow. All right. What do you see in this picture? It is not a shopping mall. It is a house, a palace actually. It is Istana Nurul Iman or Nurul Iman Palace, and it belongs to King of Brunei. Can you tell me how many rooms are there in this palace? 200? 500? I'm talking about rooms. Let me tell you, in this palace, there are 1,788 rooms. I have only 3. But he has 1,788 rooms. How about bathroom? How many bathrooms are there in this palace? Same? One room, one bathroom? No lah. 2,000 ah. How come 2,000? More than rooms. Let me tell you, there are 257 bathrooms in this palace. And he has a banquet hall, can accommodate 5,000 people, a mosque that can accommodate 1,500 people, and then 110 car garage, and 5 swimming pools, and 200 polo ponies. Very rich. King of Brunei. Well, Bible describes one man that is very rich also. His name is Job. He has 14,000 sheep, 6,000 camels, 1,000 yoke of oxen, and 1,000 donkeys. Again, my question to you is our God poor? Psalms 89 verse 11. The heavens are yours, the earth also is yours, the world and all its fullness, you have founded them, God says. Again, we have Psalms 50 verse 10. It says here, for every beast of the forest is mine, God says. And the cattle upon 1,000 hills. I know all the falls of the mountains, and the wild beasts of the field are mine. And in Haggai we have this text, 2 verse 8. God says, the silver is mine, and the gold is mine, says the Lord of hosts. How many of you have Rolex watch? I can see some of you are checking whether you are wearing Rolex watch or not. Look at this watch. It is made of gold and silver. Wow. Look at this motorbike. 4.8 million USD. It made of not only diamonds, but mix of Swarovski crystal. And we have this car made by diamond, gold, and platinum, Bugatti car. And look at this car. A prince by the name of Al-Walid bin Tahal from Saudi Arabia. He has a car, Mercedes XL 600, USD 4.8 million, made of gold and diamond. And just look at the exhaust. Made of diamond. Oh. Now we have these 5 planets. Okay? We have Earth, Venus, Mars, Mercury, Pluto. Well, we can say that we are very proud that among these 5 planets, we are the biggest. The planet Earth, the biggest. But don't forget that there are a few more planets. We have Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and our Earth is this one. And let me tell you, all these planets belongs to God. And look at the sun. And where is our Earth now? Look at this little dot here. And you could place 1,300,000 Earth in the sun. Wow. I'm not finished yet. Look at the sun. Okay, this is our planet Earth, and this is our sun, and this is sun. Then there are some more suns, bigger than our sun here. We have Aldebaran, Regal, Antares, Betelgeuse. I don't know how to pronounce that sun. Again, we have this. After this sun, this star, we also have these different stars. And look at this picture. We have this sun, and we have this giant star. And this giant star, we also have super giant stars. And where is our Earth now? Cannot see. We have Milky Way galaxy. All right? And in this galaxy, there are how many stars? How to say this number? 100 billion stars? Billion? Is it billion or trillion? I think this one is million, billion. 100 billion stars in our Milky Way galaxy. And there are stars which are 500,000 times bigger than the suns. Yes, wow. All right, we have in Milky Way galaxy 100 billion. Is it billion, huh? Billion or trillions? Trillions, so sorry. 100 trillion stars. And then in the universe, we have, again, 1 trillion galaxy. So, all in all, we have how many stars in the universe? Please help me to pronounce this number. I do not know how to name this number. And if I today ask you to count this number of stars, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to this number, how much time do you need to count all the stars, all these stars? Do you know how much time do you need to take for you to count all these stars? You will need to take this number of years so that you can finish counting those stars. Wow. And let me tell you, my friends, all the stars, the planets, the universe, the galaxies, all belong to our God. Again, my question is our God poor? No. My next question is, does God have any need? No. Does God need our money? No. And the next question is, why did God ask us to return the tithe and to give the offerings to Him? Have you ever asked this question before? Yes, we have. Our God, He is very rich in heaven. But every month, every Sabbath, I will need to give Him my offering. I will need to return to Him my tithe. Why? Now, I would like to quote Ellen G. White's writing, Counsel on Stewardship, page 65. It says here, in the garden, He caused to grow every tree that was pleasant to the eye or good for food. But among them, He made one reserve. Of all else, Adam and Eve might freely eat, but of this one tree, God said, Thou shalt not eat of it. Here was the test of their gratitude and loyalty to God. The tithing system today is the equivalent to the last day Christians of the tree of knowledge of good and evil for Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. Again, she said, there was nothing poisonous in the fruit itself, and the sin was not merely in yielding to appetite. It was, number one, distrust of God's goodness. Number two, it was disbelief of His word. And number three, rejection of His authority that make our first parents transgressors, and that brought into the world a knowledge of evil. My friends, when we are talking about tithe and offering, may I appeal to you, let us be faithful to God. When we are faithful with our tithe and offerings, we trust His goodness. We believe His word. We accept His authority. And so when we are faithful to God, what will be the outcome? Again, Counsel on Stewardship, page 65. So the Lord has imparted to us heaven's richest treasure in giving us Jesus. With Him, He has given us all things richly to enjoy. The production of the earth, the bountiful harvest, and the treasures of gold and silver are His gift. Houses and lands, food and clothing, He has placed in the possessions of man. He asks us today to acknowledge Him as the giver of all things. And for this reason, He says, of all your possessions, I reserve a tenth for myself, besides gift and offering, which are to be brought into my storehouse. And pay attention to this statement. This is the provision God has made for carrying forward the work of the gospel. My friends, is our God poor? No. Don't forget, we have a God in heaven and He is very rich. And He is ready to bless us with many blessings. Our part today, let me tell you, my friends, our part today is to be faithful to Him. Return to Him our tithe. Give to Him our offering. Let us today trust God.